Check it out, man. My man. So, man, I'm so excited about this next speaker. You guys know his background. I met him. I was going over some of the pictures. I met him in 2018, and I'm going to start with this, right? One of the most amazing things when I met him is because I heard of Marshall Faulk, right? And then everybody's like, oh, he's this NFL Hall of Famer. And when I met him, he was one of the most humble human beings I ever met. Based on his achievements, his fame, like all the stuff that he built. And I was really impressed. They actually invited me to go speak in his office. And it's a whole nother story. But when I met him, he was like so humble. And then we start building a little bit of a relationship. And he's a nice person, you know, like a good human. That's what it is. I'm going to read a couple of things, but just understand this. No matter what the stats says, no matter what the rank says, no matter what that stuff, what matters is who you are. And this is a man of family. He's a man that he's here because he loves building people. Remember we did the whole training about leadership development? He was in Mexico on vacation, and he came here just to help you guys. When I called him, he was like, yeah, I'm going to be on vacation, but I'm going to make sure I'm there. And I'm like, no, yeah. And she was like, no, it's done, right? And I love that commitment for people, right? So let me read a couple things from him right here. And this is the research that I did. If I'm wrong, like, I apologize, but here's what it goes. Super Bowl champion, NFL most valuable player in 2000, 3 times NFL Offensive Player of the Year, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Guys, remember how important it should be the Rookie of the Year? How many times you can be Rookie of the Year? 1 time, right? So he was Rookie of the Year, 3 times first team All-Pro, right? 3 times second team All-Pro, 7 times Pro Bowl, NFL rushing touchdowns leader in 2000, NFL scoring leader 2000-2001. And then I have something here. 2000 MVP award, first player in NFL history to gain 2,000 yards from scrimmage in 4 consecutive seasons. One of only 3 NFL players to reach at least 10,000 rushing yards, 5,000 receiving yards, and only one whatever they say here, yards rushing, 12,000, right, yards. So understand, this guy has the mindset, he has the belief system, he has the results, and he's gonna come here and talk about his story, and talk about the business. He's in our business, right? He's doing our business, so that gives you guys a little hint. But I wanna make sure that you guys give the loudest. I told this the other day, I'm gonna tell, we're gonna be like, I don't know. But I want him to feel like he's walking to an NFL final right now. Right? So let's give it up, let's stand up, and give a big, screaming, whistling to Marshall Faulk!
It's a pleasure to be here. Andre, thank you for having me. As much as you guys are standing up applauding me and you are happy that I am happy to be here. Because in this room is something called an opportunity. And every person in this room accepted an opportunity to give other people an opportunity. And in this world that we live in, sometimes there's just not enough opportunity. Now, what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, I'll get into a little bit about me, but most importantly, I want to talk about what this business is for me. Why would I be in this business? Because I get asked that all the time. People look at me and they're like, what are you doing this for? Now, I'll share this with you. Not until I was in this business, and this may sound kind of crazy, not until I was in this business and I sat down and someone went through my finances by doing a financial needs analysis with me, that I realized I was actually financially independent, that I didn't have to work another day in my life unless I wanted to. So when I have that conversation with people and I say, I do this because I want to, not because I need to, then they start to get the impact of what this is. Now, it didn't come easy. And I'm not talking about what I achieved in football or what I did outside of life. I'm talking about inside this business. It did not come easy. I was a tough person to recruit. Right? I'm talking about, historically, I may go down as the toughest person to have ever been recruited in this business. Okay? 9 months, all right? About 2 to 3 meetings per month with having conversations about what this is, how does it operate, how is it possible, why in the hell do I know, why in the hell don't we know about this stuff? Literally, I was confused. Business marketing major, minor in communication, went right here to San Diego State. I was like, there we go, got some assets in the house. And it didn't make sense that this wasn't making sense to me. So I'm telling you this because you got to think about who you're recruiting, and when you recruit them, what goes into it. The person who brought me into this business and her upline, they spent 9 months, at least 2 to 3 meetings per month, sitting down, talking for hours before one day it clicked. And I realized what I could use this platform for, something that I was passionate about. You never know what it's going to be. You have no idea. It had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with winning awards. It literally had to do with the wonderful platform that we have to educate people about their product. See, I realized at that point in time, I realized that now, those of you who are in here that know about football, as you see, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the fastest, but I was always considered one of the smartest players. And for this topic, subject, and something that I chased, played for, worked so hard to get, escaped me my whole life. I could not believe it. I could not believe it when I found out now that I was financially literate. I was disappointed. I was kind of heartbroken, to be honest. It really hurt me to my core that I didn't have this information. Now, first thing I did, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys, and I know some of you are recording, some of you are writing. I hope some of you take this in, because you need to know this. Here's the first thing I thought, all right? Because this is what we do, our people. I was like, it's a black thing. It wasn't in our community. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. Marginalized. We didn't get it. It wasn't in my school. But what I started to figure out was, it's not in any school. It's not anywhere. It's not in the trailer park. It's not in the suburbs. If you don't come from money and you don't come from someone who understands how money works, then you're just not going to get it. Unless you get lucky. Unless you're Magic Johnson and a owner of the Lakers pull you aside and say, hey Magic, let me show you how to become a billionaire. Or you're Michael Jordan and the owner of the Bulls say, hey Michael, or Nike, hey, let me show you how to become a billionaire. If you don't have that, then the expectation of you to learn about your own money. I sat at tables with financial advisors, and what they did was they talked over my head continuously. Now, I want you to know I'm not upset with any financial advisor. I respect them for the work that they put in to be what they are, an advisor. All right? I just let them know how we differ. I never consider myself an advisor because the advisor gives advice and they never use the product. We have products and services that we use. That's what we believe in. We believe in the product. Most advisors are going to tell you about things to do, places to put your money, but they can't show you where theirs is in those products. That's separation in what we do and how we do it. So getting that education for me, it was everything. That's what attracted me to this business.
Done.
You never know what's going to attract people. And they told me everything about building and all of this and that. And that's all I saw for myself. I saw me standing up in front of kids at the time. I didn't think there were that many adults that were financially literate like myself, but obviously we all know that there is. I thought about talking to kids and what that was going to mean to kids and being able to empower kids at a young age so they understood in life what they were working for, most importantly, who they were working for. So I can teach them the difference between being an entrepreneur and being an employee and what that is. So you can understand the difference in owning a business, self-employed, being an entrepreneur. And this business, it's given me that platform. Now, it wasn't easy. As most of you probably think, oh my God, he's Marshall Faulk. Everybody wants to be on this team. That's not true. People tell me no too. People sign and die. They come in and they quit. They promote and quit. They stop taking my calls too. It happens. It happens. All the things that happen to you happens to me. But that's what we all do. And you're sitting here. And you're sitting here as a testament that you persevere. That's what you do. Here's the reality. Everybody in this room not gonna make it. I've been in enough of these rooms and I've listened to enough people talk. And the people that stand up on stage, they always talk about it. And it's like, there's something to that. There's something to that because in my speech that I always give when I'm talking to a crowd about football and life in football, I talk about not quitting. I talk about how long the journey was. I tell them that I started playing football at the age of 5. I didn't receive one dime playing football until I was 21. I talk about that. And you have to understand when you see those numbers go across the screen for an NBA player or NFL player or an MLB player, you got to understand how long of their life they've invested in order to make 50, 100 million. They've put, there's a lot of time. 5 to 21, not a dime, and all of a sudden it hit. And this ain't the lottery. I ain't just pull no number. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of hits. There's a lot of knee aches, back aches, headaches. I'm saying this to you for a reason. Because this business is about attrition. And I always talk about this when I talk about this business because I just want you to know. It's the hardest race you'll ever run in your life. Because you have to sprint in this business while you run a marathon. Most of you might not understand that analogy. Here's what it is, okay? Marathon runners, they have vision of what it's going to be like to cross the finish line. They start 25 miles somewhere and they're just running. And they're just running. They can't even see the finish line. All right? And they're running at a pace to get there. Sprinters, when they take their mark, they see the finish line. And they know how fast to run to that finish line. In this business, you have to sprint a marathon. You don't know where the finish line is. You don't know when you're going to hit it. You have no idea when that finish line is going to show up and you eclipse a goal, or you hit a milestone, or that recruit, or that client. You have no idea. So you have to run the race with the sprinter's mindset, running as fast as you can. Now, what does that do? You guys ever heard of burnout?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Woo. I can cause burnout. It can definitely do that. Or I should say it can do that to you. But when you have the ability to persevere, which means, and it lies within, which is, you gotta set your expectations aside. You gotta put your pride aside. You gotta set your ego aside. And you gotta work. tell you guys a fun story. One of the things that that I remember the first time that I went to convention, and I'm walking around and people are looking at me like, is that me? Is that him? And I'm like, and I'm just trying to get through. You know, conventions with all these people, it's like, I'm just trying to get through. And I meet a couple of people who were, you know, they higher up in the company, and they wanted me to come sit on the floor. And I'm like, nah, I have a ticket. And I'm in like seat like 400 something. Mm-hmm. And they didn't understand why I had to sit in that seat. And I tried to explain this to them because this is super important to me. It's super important to me. I want you to know that where you started in this business is where I started in this business. It's important. It's important. When I opened my first MyWFG account, I had zeros everywhere. I had no cash flow. I had no recruits. I was just like you. I was like, what is this? This was pre-WFG launching all of that. I was just happy to have that account. Like, wow, this is nice. All right? And that meant something to me because I wanted the people that I was with, that was there, to know, here's what's key, that I respect their business. I respect their business. I respect that you have to come in as a training associate and learn the business. Here's my take on that, okay, just so you understand. When people come in, and sometimes I bring people in, and they're like, do I have to start at 25? Do I have to start at training associate? I'm like, well, you don't have to. You don't have to, but here's what I did. Just out of respect. Out of respect for all the other people who started this business before me, so they understand one thing, that I respect the business. Because a lot of people, and I know this, because it was told to me many a time, a lot of people of my stature, of my caliber, they come in and they want one. It happens. It happens. But respect in this business is what it is. And for me, I love the fact that we all start at the same place. We all, there's no head starts. I don't know if you guys heard this term, but some people, you were born on second base. It takes one hit to get a run. Like, born on second base. Meaning your family, you had it better than most. But that's not the case here. Level playing field. We all get the same tools and materials. We all get to share in the same mantra of no family left behind. We all want to do the same thing. Now, guess what happens? Some of us want it more than others. Someone in here, each one of you, someone in here wants it more than you. Like when you see the leaderboard, you see stuff up there, somebody in here wants it more than you. Somebody in here is willing to put in more than you. And that breeds the competition. Now, as I stand up here and I talk to you guys about this, and literally I'm getting to some winning stuff, it's like you look at me, in football, I'm a finished product. You know, I've been signed, stamped, I got a gold jacket, a bus, ring, I'm like, this guy's a Hall of Famer, that's it, I'm a finished product. But what you didn't see was what made me and who I was before I was this finished product. The guy you saw on Sundays running around there like this kid having fun, and so much went into building that kid. So much went into building him. And I love when people refer to me as a champion, as in some way, somehow, every one of you in here, you're a champion. Each day that you continue to live life, fight for what you want, and try to build what you want to build, there's a champion. You all have that. I ask you to not get caught up in someone else's championship run. Don't compare yours with theirs. Just make sure every day that right foot go in front, that left foot, and then that left foot go in front, that right foot. You just continue to move forward, building your championship life that you want to live. Don't let nobody tell you what that life's supposed to look like. Now, getting referred to, it's just like, oh man, that's awesome when people refer to you as a champion. But there's some things that came in that kind of built that. First of all, the first thing was a chance. Everybody in here, we want a chance. We talk about opportunity, you're given an opportunity, you have a chance. And what do you do with it? It's all about what you do with your chances in life. You get to ask yourself each and every day, you wake up, what am I going to do with this chance? I don't know if you know this, but when you wake up and you take that breath, you were given a chance to live today. Probably don't think about it. Somebody wasn't given that chance. Somebody didn't make it. Somebody didn't make it. You were given that chance. So what do you do with it? What are you going to do with that chance? Are you going to take advantage of that chance? Or are you going to put that chance, you're going to say, okay, chance today. So today, you know what I'm going to do? Can you wait till Monday? Because you're going to ask the chance to wait till Monday for you? What are you going to do with that chance? Are you going to take advantage of it? Are you taking inventory of each and every minute, each and every hour of the day, what you're doing? And when you decide to chill, make sure you take that chance to chill and really chill. Or if you decide to take a day off, really take that day off. And understand, when it's time to take advantage of the chance, take advantage of the chance. Because everybody in here, you're not taking advantage of your chance. You're not taking the time that you were given that someone else wasn't. Take advantage of the chance that you've been given in life. The question is, how many are you going to get? Well, each day you get one. Today you get a chance to listen to me. Today you get a chance to be here. Today you get a chance to be poured into. What are you going to do with that? What is it going to do? What's it going to change in your life? How long is this going to burn your butt for you to do some hours of work before it's like you don't see the redness on the coal anymore? How long? How long does that last? You get to decide that. Chances are everything to me. I was given a chance. The biggest chance of my life was given to me, and I will forever be indebted to San Diego State University. Inner city kid from New Orleans, Louisiana, the youngest of 6 boys, single mom, growing up in a 3-bedroom house. Sounds kind of weird, but I slept with my brothers until I was like 15. Just private house. And they literally gave me a chance by giving me a scholarship. Play football. That was my first opportunity. My first opportunity. Now, could have looked at it a bunch of different ways. But you have to understand when that chance is given to you, and then decide how you're going to take it. And I was given a bit of advice from my high school coach. He said, "Hey, listen, I don't know what's going to happen in football, but whatever you do, every game that you play, they're going to get the most out of you. So what you need to do is every day you go to school, every day you go to class, you get the most out of them." I'm like, okay. That chance, like, okay, I can do that. So every day I was on that campus, I was the most annoying person in class. I raised my hand for everything I didn't understand. I wanted to know all the questions. In an auditorium full of people, I would raise my hand. I would literally, after class, go up to the professor and say, "Sir, I didn't understand a lot of stuff." Because I knew that was my chance. And wasn't sure I was going to get another. You have to relish these chances. You have to take advantage of these chances. I also realized, like in my freshman year, I don't know who's old enough in here, but in college, I was okay. I was pretty good. You know, I got lucky. I got hurt. I went in. I started. Played the game. Rushed for like 400 yards and 7 touchdowns. It's a chance. It's a chance. I could have not been ready. I could have not been ready. You got to see these chances. I had no idea he was going to get hurt. I could have not been prepared. I could have been like, oh, he's a senior. He's going to play. The chance. Like they sometimes just happen, and you don't even know that the opportunity presents itself. I could have not studied. I was like, I'm a freshman. I'm never going to play. 4 or 5 plays into the game, he goes down. Coach looks at me, hold on to the football. And these chances and these opportunities, they lie in your life, and you don't even know. Sometimes you step over them. Sometimes somebody, they invite you somewhere, they offer you something, and you, no, I'm good. Good. Well, some people settle for good in life. That's what they want, but that's okay. But the chance, what lies in it, is the unknown and the mystery. And sometimes, when that chance is given to you, you get to find out who you are. And I want you to know, I love you guys' name. I love the Lion. Oh my God. Like, I remember as a kid, when we used to sneak into the zoo. We couldn't afford to get it. We used to, out of the zoo in New Orleans, we used to sneak into the zoo. I can say that now. If they want me to pay for what I can pay them. I can afford to. And just to keep the king of the jungle, man, just the lion, just that atmosphere. I love you guys' name. That's awesome. I rock with that. But I think about that chance and what that moment did for me. I went from some poor, obscure freshman from New Orleans who was the backup to the conference player of the year, previous year, to this guy who just broke some record. And they stuck a microphone in my face. And I don't, anybody in here from New Orleans or ever been to New Orleans or ever heard someone from New Orleans speak? Oh my God. That night when I got home and I saw the interview, I was like, what did I say? I went to our public relations guy and I said, how do I fix this? And there goes the minor in oral communication. Literally. Another opportunity presented itself. And I had no idea that me watching myself speak, not knowing what I said, although I said it. And every other word in the city. I don't know if you've ever listened to somebody talk in New Orleans, there's like, you're going to hear something, you heard me, this, you heard me, this, and then, I was just like, oh my God, this is rough. How do I change this? That turned into my ability to stand up here and talk to you. This used to be a fear of mine. Some of you in here, you probably feared this. This used to be a fear of mine. Being able to work in television, being able to address major crowds, arenas, stadiums. There was a chance. I saw an opportunity. I was like, I can get better. I can get better. There's so many moments like that in my life that when I look back on it, I just made a decision. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I didn't know if the decision was right. But one thing I stand on, and I will always stand on this. As my mother used to say, hey, go ahead and make the decision. Don't worry about it being right. If it's not right, make it right. That, for me, that makes making decisions so easy. When you can't, I can't make the wrong decision. Because whatever the decision is that I make, if I find out, realize, or I am told that it's wrong, it didn't work, unless I stop, I get to change. It's not over. I get to make it better. I get to make it work. That's what you get to do. So taking advantage of the chances in our life, it means everything. It means everything. And you never know, you might walk out this door and there's a chance for you. Sitting in here, you might hear something. There's a chance for you. You never know. You have to take advantage of your chances. Now, there's another thing that's important to me, and I have to embrace this. This is probably one of the toughest things to embrace. With chances, and you taking advantage of the chances, and you walking into new doors and exploring new things, there then becomes the changes that you have to make. Now these things become tough because when you grow up in a place like I grew up, you just don't leave New Orleans. It's just one of a kind. It's literally, if you've never been, go. It's one of one. Like we are the last standing city that doesn't provide healthy options. You will not get quinoa. There's no gluten-free. There's no we don't have oat milk. No almond milk. I'm just telling you. Half the things are still fried. Like, we don't fry anything. Literally. Like, and you're going to get the best hospitality there is. You're going to get the best hospitality there is. But just some things got to change in your life when you come from those type of situations. And then you make leaps and bounds. You have to remember that everybody not gonna make the journey. Everybody don't make it. You can't save everyone. You can't. You gotta make some changes in your life. And some things have to change in my life, along with me changing my life. And I say that because in this business, it's the same thing. Here's what a lot of you are fighting right now. You now are doing this, and you're in the financial service industry, and your friends knew you as how they knew you, and now you can't talk to them about it. And you're worried about it, and you care what they think about you. And you're trying to continuously recruit those same friends who borrow money from you as your business partner, while they're telling you you don't know what you're talking about. They get $20. Or they do it the sneaky way. They show up at dinner and they always leave their wallet at home. All the little tricks. Think about it. Think about what you're going. The changes that you have to make in order to live the life that you want to live, they're extreme. If you want to do something great, then you have to do something great. You can't be average and do average and expect great. And sometimes the circles you're in, the people you're around, the things that you're doing, they may have gotten you to where they're going to get you, but they're not going to take you where you want to go. And one of the toughest lessons that I had to learn in this business, like this business, I was like, I already knew this, and I still had to learn this. Sometimes, and this business this business, well, it mirrors life so much. You start to figure out that you recruit you, and you're like, why is this person doing that? And then you're up line and say, well, you did it. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. The changes you have to make. This business will force you to do it. As in life, if you want to be successful. Most of us, we go on some diet or some weight loss thing, and we make these New Year's resolutions without providing a New Year solution. And you keep making a resolution without solutions to do the resolution, and now you're going back and forth, and before you know it, you're the person you was in 2023. Happens quick. Because the person you was in 2023, you had 365 days to get comfortable in that person. You were comfortable in that person. And so, it don't take long for you to go back to what you were doing 365 days in the few days that you've been into this year. It don't take long, but what it does take is a lot of commitment. Huge commitment. And the commitment to self. Like think about in the realm of commitment. Whatever changes that you want to make, you can make those changes. You can make those changes with no commitment. You end up going back to what you did before. It's the commitment. Like if we could commit to ourselves the way we commit to others in marriage, the way we commit to our kids, boy, you know the commitment to raise a kid? You know what goes into that? Yes. It's a lot of sacrifice. What if we poured that into ourselves? What if we did that? It's scary. You would scare yourself. The changes that you would make, the things that you would do better for you. And then all the other things that you choose to commit to. Wife, husband, kids, family. You'd be a better you. Essentially, here's what I want you to know. Whoever you were before you came into this business, you cannot walk out of this business that person. It is important that you get better, not just in the business. I don't want you to be the best at the business. You have to be the best version of you. The financial needs analysis is not just on the numbers in the business. It's on your personal behavior as well. All right? Now, in changing those things, obviously, it's what you're becoming. And the scary part about that is, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes you don't know what's coming next. You're growing into, you don't know what you're growing into. You don't know what the next size is. You don't know what the next move is. But the idea behind it is making sure that whatever the next move is, that growth is better than where you're at. That's what we want. That's where we're going. That's why the changes is necessary. As the chance is given, change is necessary then the challenge is ultimate. Because some of us in this room, and including me sometimes, like I continuously have to challenge myself. Some of us, we're not challenging ourselves. You're not pushing yourself beyond your limit. You're not asking yourself for more. You're not trying to do more. You're trying to do, well, I know I can do this. Okay, so what? You know what? I've done 4 appointments a day for the past year. So what? Do 5. And why aren't we challenging ourselves? Is the question. It's comfort. Comfort. It is. You were bred to be comfortable. You were bred to be someone's employee and to be comfortable. We were all systematized. You have to know this. When you went to school, the dream was get an education, get a good job, get a house, have a family, live a good life. Nobody told you that you could build your own life. Nobody told you that you could own your own business. Most of us in here grew up wondering, how do they have that? I know I did. I remember as a kid sitting on the street corner, watching the cars go by, pointing out cars that I wish I had. Never imagining that one day I could. With no resources to find out how to get it. No resources. Do you guys understand that we are the resource? Like we are that resource for people? Do you get that? Do you really understand that? And I don't think you guys know, I don't think you understand the power that we have in this business. It is a powerful business. Like, raise your hand if you sat down with people and you took them through an analysis and you provided them some solutions and they just cried in front of you because they were lost. Does that happen to you? If it hasn't happened to you yet, it's the most amazing thing in the world. You will literally get choked up with it. There's so many people walking around in today's world without answers. Financially, they don't have answers. They either don't have money or they have money, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what their end game is. They have no plan for what's coming. They're probably, most of them are maybe like my mom and dad were, or like your mom and dad were. Their retirement was dying on the job. And we sit down and we give them answers. We provide them solutions to problems that they have. It's internal stress that's killing people because they don't know what's coming down the road. They have no idea. They have no plan. And we provide the plan. Do you understand the power that's in that? Do you get the power that's in that? You have to understand how powerful you are when you sit down with people and you give them solutions to problems that they didn't even know was a problem. When all of their money is sitting in the bank and they don't even know the interest that they're not making compared to what the bank is making. But when you provide them solutions that provide them downside protection in a market that they're exposed in, you don't have to take those risks if you want to. When you're giving them this information and this education, the power that goes in that. The feeling, I don't know if you guys have this feeling like this. For those of you who live here in California, you can pull up on any corner, damn near on any highway now, and see homeless people. The feeling of not being able to do something for them, it tears at me. That's the feeling I used to feel when I used to donate money, because I've had a foundation for 30 years, donate money to families. I was like, I'm giving them this, and this isn't enough. But when we sit down with them and we provide them the solutions that we do, that's different. That's different because those solutions, they don't just come with product, they come with education. Once you stain their brain with the different things, ways, and how to do stuff, it's like the best drug in the world. They continue to want more. They want more. They want to know more. So the challenge is playing this game of physical contact. How many people can you? I love this business because that's about contact. How many people can you contact? How many no's can you eat? How many can you stand? There's just so many challenges in what we do and how we do it, and the fact that you get the opportunity to do it. Like this is my, and I think about this all the time. My high school coach changed my life. And you understand when you bring someone into this business, or you sit down with the family, you change their life. You probably hadn't seen it like that. But this information is impactful. You may not feel like it. You're probably so wrapped up in your own issues that you're not looking at the solutions you're providing. I'm sure that at some point in time when you sit down with someone and you have a conversation with them, and let's just say if you're not doing good financially, it's always eye-opening when you realize someone's doing worse than you. Like, whoa, how are you making this work? You're spending $500 more than you're making a month. How does this work? And then you realize how good you had it compared to how good you thought you had it. This business, and as you guys, I love the word champion. It fuels my fire. That's what it does. But more than champion, chances, change, and the challenges in life are what builds champion. And you have to identify yours. You have to identify yours. You have to dig down deep, find out yours, so you can build that little champion in you. Because we all have it. It's in us. We were all given the talent to do something. And there's a winner inside of you. There's a winner inside of each and every one of you. You've got to know that. If you're sitting in this room and you don't feel like there's a winner inside of you, then let's have a conversation. Have a conversation with your upline. There's a winner inside of each and every one of us. You have the ability to win, not in life, at life. You have the ability to win. You just have to believe in yourself. And that's and there is where it lies. That inner belief in self. When you wake up and you look at that person in the mirror, you say, I'm a winner. You might not be winning yet. You might not be winning yet. Funny story, or I'm gonna tell you guys this. So I played football since I was 5. And you guys can do some of the math. I was born in 1973. The first time that I won in football was 2000. Won a Super Bowl in 2000. You think in 2000 I thought I was a winner? Like that was the first time? No. See, what you have to get through is you have to build up. First, you got to get through that adversity, but you have to build up. You have to build up the resistance to fight when you get knocked down, to get back up and believe that you're a winner. So for all of my life, playing football up until the year 2000, I had not won a championship. I had not been the best at the game. And then one year, it happened. That one year was the year I thought I was the best, or we thought we were the greatest. Everybody on that team thought before we won it that we were going to win it many years before. But guess what we dealt with? We dealt with disappointment. I dealt with hurting my knee. I dealt with hurting my ankle, hurting my shoulder, not finishing the season. But the reality of it is, and why I love the game of football, is because football is like the game of life. Like the game of life. Every time the coach handed me the ball, I ran it as hard as I could. Somebody tackled me, hit me hard, knocked me down. And like I do in life, stand up and say, Coach, give it to me again. And I believe you do that until you learn how to win. I don't want you to do it until you win. Because most people, they work up until they get success. They don't know how to work through success. You gotta learn how to work through your success. Like, these acronyms that we use here for levels that you are, they're all pit stops in life. What's the highest right now? FC. Somebody is going to pass up FC level and they're going to have to create something new. I'm serious. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's called working through success, not to success. Like most people get to their goal, some people run through their goal, some people run over their goal. And that's what you want to do. And then reset it. Before Andre come up here and we're going to do a little Q&A, I want to tell you guys this. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and it was just weird. It was weird that somebody said something to me that related to me, and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't think of that. But the young man that I'm mentoring and coaching him, he said, Tim Marshall, he said, Coach, he said, man, I know I can't control that I was born poor, but I can damn sure control that I won't die poor. And in that quote, God, I was just like, I gotta steal your material. But this business is everything. I hope you guys take advantage of the platform that we have, the people that we get to work with, the people that we get to help, the opportunities that we have. And here's the thing. Don't be afraid to recruit somebody. Like, don't look at people and think that they're better than, they don't deserve, or they know. The reality is, most of the time they don't. And here's what you'll learn. If they do know, then you're gonna learn what they know. So have the conversation. Don't be afraid. Don't allow yourself or your limitations in life. Don't put that on other people. Give the opportunity. Allow them to make the decision. No ain't the worst word in the world if they say it. Thank you.
So many nuggets in this talk, like so many nuggets. And you guys get when I introduce him and I say he's like one of the most humble men I ever met, right? With all his achievements. I wanna go back in time, and you say one thing that I wanna see if I can put together my thoughts right now, because it's an incredible story when he talks about this. You gotta sprint. Talking about our business, right? Got a sprint, but in a marathon, right? But when I realize is you're doing that in life, because it's like when you look at, I was a professional skateboarder, as you know, we have a couple, we have snowboarders, but most people, what they struggle is they have this identity, right? When they get in and then they gotta do the business or become somebody else and they struggle, so it's almost like that's the end game for them. They're not in a marathon. It becomes like a sprint. They get there, and they are always sprints, but they get tired of being a person. And one thing I see from you, like even the way you introduce yourself, you're not talking about the past. It's almost like you kind of like trick me out, because I know you have highlights and you have all that stuff, and you barely even talk about this. And all we talk about is like the new you, and the new version of you. Can you talk a little bit about like the identity to become this person, not living from the past?
Yeah, part of the challenge in my life is to live in the present. Live in the present, plan for the future. I can't do nothing about the past. That's my history. And that's it. It's story. That's all it is. It's a story about what I did. I can't do that. The only thing I can do, and what I try to do, is take the lessons that I learned, the mistakes that I made, make sure that I don't make those mistakes again, and be better at something else. That's why I don't coach. I refuse to coach in football because I've done it at the highest level possible, the best way you can, and I wanted to move into other things, and not to prove to anybody else that I could do something. For me, I want to challenge myself, and I tell this story all the time. As a professional athlete, you're a type A person, and I was massive type A, and I'd never worked with regular people, and in the sense of regular people, some of you wake up, and maybe not now, but some of you wake up with no goals and dreams, no direction in life. I've never had a day like that in my life. I've never woken up without a plan, a dream, chasing something, wanting something. I have no idea. Even on vacation, I'm trying to get something done. I got an excursion I got to go be great at. I don't know what that's like. So it was the ultimate challenge coming into this business, learning, and please don't take it personal, how to work with just regular people, because now I know that there's people in life who wake up. Someone tell them what time they got to be to work, what time they take lunch, what time they go home, and then they wake up and rinse and repeat. Like I didn't get that. My mother, although we were poor, my mother, although she had a job, we cooked food and sold food to the neighborhood. My dad, he owned a little watering hole. That's called a watering hole in the South. That's an illegal place to drink. Yeah, there's none of those in California, by the way. So I watched progress. As a kid, I invented businesses. I was like, me and a couple of my friends, we went to the grocery store and we would carry, this was before you could take your basket. where you can take your basket to your car. We carried the groceries to the cars for the customers, made money there, and actually I got to see, when I was a kid, the only way I watched NFL games was I literally I had to pay to be a vendor, so you buy a rack, sold popcorn the first half, watch the game the second half, couldn't afford a ticket. So I've always been a progressive thinker about just how to get ahead in life.
Oh, good. That's amazing. So you said one thing in the beginning of the talk when you said I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the biggest. You said you're not the most skilled, but you're like known for being the most intelligent, right? And can you just mention, because I know 100% you're gonna be like, no, it's in sports. There's always someone that is extremely talented. There's always someone that is built for the sport. But it feels like the ones that are built for it, they're born with this talent, they never make it, is the ones that work really hard. So even when you look at Jordan, you mentioned Jordan, he wasn't the first peak, right? Kobe talks about he was the most talented. You mentioned this, I wasn't the most skilled, talented. I have friends that are like way better, they fall faster, all this stuff, but the work ethic and to become intelligent it's really what matters, because it doesn't matter how fast you are, how even good looking, all that stuff. What matters is what's in here, and really how do you get ahead based on work ethic? Because if you're not the fastest, the strongest, but you become the best, how do you, just can you talk about work ethic and keep going up and tie a little bit with the dream, because I think the dream is really important. Because some of those guys, they might be the most talented, so it's normal. They're like, oh, I'm gonna make it, is it right? And you gotta outwork them to get to this place.
Yeah, so obviously, when you get to the professional level, everybody's good. At the professional level, at some point in time, everybody on that team that you're on, previous teams, they were either the best player, they've been the best player before. So you're in this collection of guys that are top, and you have to figure out. And this was like, how do I separate myself? There's two ways to separate yourself. You can separate up, or you can separate down. Down is a very negative way of being someone who people can't count on, doing stuff illegal. Just not being in the best light. I wanted to separate myself because I knew I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the fastest. But I'm a big dreamer. And my dreams in dreaming big, like I don't dream kind of big, I dream like colossal big. Like I don't want like little things to happen, I want big things to happen. And in having those dreams, I understand the work that has to be put into for those dreams to be had. Not for them to come through, for the dreams to be had. And a lot of these dreams that I have, I don't dream about them with my eyes closed. I dream about them with my eyes open, so I can see, so I understand what I'm doing, so I can chase it. Now, what sense does it make to dream with your eyes open versus closed? Well, you can spend more time in the day with your eyes open or closed. I want to dream with my eyes open. I can spend more time in the dream, to work more time in the dream. I get to allow that dream that I'm having to fuel my fire, so when the workout gets hard, when things I'm doing getting hard, and I'm gonna relate it to this business. When you're working and you just put an hour in it, and the client decides, you know what, I'm not gonna move forward. And you've shown them 3, 4, 5 illustrations for a rollover. Next appointment, I don't wanna do it. That's when you have to decide that you're going to work harder. The harder it gets, the more you lean in.
Another question for you. I believe the ability to become a dreamer, there's two ways, right? Either you're born with that ability, like some people that are born already with that ability, and some people we're all born with that ability. Kids dream all the time, right? Until like someone shuts them down, the system, the environment, parents, who, whatever, right? But then I believe it's a skill set, and anyone can, because God created us that version. We're dreamers. We're born to dream, right? So one thing that I don't know if you do that because you already have that ability, but we teach people to build vision boards and go to you know how you're sitting on the corner, you're looking at the car like, push, right? And some people, they don't know what car they want to go to the dealer, figure it out, see how the leather tastes, see how the sound tastes, right? How it sounds, and figure out what neighborhood that you want to live in, figure out your bank accounts and all those things, put in a vision board and visualize those things with your, because you cannot close your eyes and see the vision board, you gotta be eyes open, right? And our job here as leaders is to take people from this that dreaming ability to like become a dreamer again, right? Because a lot of people, like you said, they employ mentality, they cannot see a bigger picture. And we tell them, like, you gotta see, you gotta feel it, you gotta read your plan, you gotta look at your goals. Do you do that?
All the time. I mean, listen, I want you guys to know, I'm too damn busy to not have a plan and goals, and like, I have to be reminded. Like, just this morning, I woke up, and there's some numbers I want to hit, there's some things I want to do, there's some aspirations and goals, and I have to look at them, because if I don't, I'll forget about them. They become part of my subconscious, and I want it on the front of my brain. I want to be thinking about it always. I want it to drive me. It is the driving force. Your dreams. Here's the thing. If you're sitting here and you go to sleep at night and you're not having dreams. I ain't talking about nightmares. All right, I'm talking about dreams. You're not having dreams about you being successful and you having the wonderful things in life, and you living the life that you want to live, or you're in some blissful place, then something's wrong. Someone robbed you of your dreams. You have to get it back. That's why vision boards. That's why you gotta have vision boards. That's why you gotta listen to podcasts. You gotta find people that inspire you, that lights the flame in you to let you know that it's okay to dream. The only reason the flame in your dreams have been put out is because life will life the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Life, it likes, and then life's hard. When you don't live life and you let life live you, you lose everything. You stop dreaming, you start worried about, here's what you do. You put it off on your spouse because you want them to have and be good. You want your kids to be good, and no. You're afraid to dream because you're afraid to fail. Your dreams is what you want, and when you're not doing it, every day is a reminder of what you're failing at. Like, you're not doing it. Don't be afraid of that. We live a failing life. You're going to fail more than you succeed in life. It's in the failure where you learn and you grow and you become the best version of yourself. Whatever it is, in failing, you become the best version of yourself. Only if you learn from it and don't continue to commit saying you failed.
So couple more questions, okay? Since you're here.
I'm sure they have some questions, I'm sure.
Yeah. So you talk about like building up to becoming a champion, right? So it's not like John Maxwell talks about this. Everybody wants to do what I do, but they don't want to do what I did. They want to do, but they don't want to did, right? And then one thing that I was listening there, and you said when finally we got there, we had a team. The team had a vision, right? Everybody was aligned. We knew we could do it. You got injured, all this stuff, but the team was there. How important, not only like the WFG is a team sport, you know, like you guys think this is fine. Like if you're competitive, this is like literally a team. Like for me, it's like, man, I cannot do skateboarding at the highest level. Let's compete here, right? And have fun here. But how important is the association, right? You have the right associations, not only as a team sport or this business, right? When you're building a business, everybody's aligned, thinking the same, having big goals, big dreams, but in life. Because you can't really become a world champion by having the wrong association. Impossible. Or become successful by having the wrong associations or associating with people that they're not thinking like you. Because you can, it's not gonna normally or all the time we all grow people, we all grow friends, right? And in order to win, it's the normal path. You're gonna outgrow people. They can go with you, but if they're not going, what do you? Can you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, in the sense of your association, being a part of something and understanding how team work. It's important. This business is a little different than most team businesses because in this business you own your own business, and the responsibility of that business is yours. Now, what you then decide to do is, hey, Andre, you can count on me for this. And then, if you are about team, it's the accountability of what that is. In football, when those 11 guys stand in the huddle and the play is called, every play ends in break. This, touch, ready, break. If somebody doesn't break, it's like, you okay? That means they're not aligned with what we are about to do. So when you say that, you're on board and you've committed to executing at the highest level together at your highest level as an individual, it creates perfect alignment. But the assignment and the attention to detail, it has to be there. And the best teams, whichever 11 guys are in the huddle, they're operating as one. They're operating as one. And the greater good isn't just that play, it's winning the overall game to where everybody wins. And nobody cares who gets the accolade. And in that lies some unselfishness, and that lies, hey, this month, this week, this year, I'm clapping for someone else who's going to clap for me next month, next week, or next year.
Okay. That was so good. Okay, next question I have for you, which I thought was really interesting, is when you mentioned that you kind of blew in the talk, and then you went into personal development, right? You had, like, I feel like I gotta get the number, so I can send you the number later. But how important was for your career and for your success? Because one thing is you can be very successful athletes, in a sense like the touchdowns and scoreboards and those things, right? But then, because you don't have the personal development, you're not successful in life, right? Because there is a big difference, you know that, right? And better than anything else, the amount of success you had, transferring the success in the sports to the success in life, being a great father, right? Having a great family, being a great business partner, being a great friend, being allow like your commitment to speak for itself, right? Like, for example, I know you talk to Hannah, she was like, he says that I asked you, I'm like, hey, are you sure? You're like, I told you yes already, it's done, right? And all this is personal development, it's committed to your word. But can you mention, like, just touch a little bit how important it is? Because we talk about personal development right before you came in. And if you want to go from where you are, like this income, the success, this leadership, you need your personal development. There is nothing between. There's no way to get there without personal development. And you're a product of it. That's so proud of you, by the way.
Thank
But
you. Thank you. Let me be clear. I am personal developing. I'm not done yet. It's an ongoing journey. You must know that. Develop is done. Developing, I'm on my way. There's some new skill sets. There's some things that I'm trying to get better at each and every day. And that's how you look at personal development. I'm chasing perfection, and it's something that we can never achieve. But I'm chasing. And as a person that I literally striving, trying to live the best. I'm like, I want to live my best life. How do I live my best life? What can I do to live my best life? How can I get better at living my best life? And how do I reach the pinnacle of doing that? And so, personal development is it. A lot of us, and please take note that I include myself in it. A lot of us, we get set in our ways. We learn certain things. We like certain things. For those of us who have uncles and aunts that's still dressing in the 80s, because they like the comfort of it, that's how we get in our personal development. We like what we like where we're at. We don't want to grow. But we want other things around us to get better and grow. And that's impossible. That it is impossible. If the person you are, if you're making less than 6 figures on a job, that person, without change, you're not coming here and making more than 6 figures. Your knowledge, your attitude, your skills, and your habit are set. You have to continuously work on them. If you want more cash, that cash has to get better. Cash with the C that you want. Cash with the K has to get better. Knowledge, attitude, skill, habit. They have to get better.
that was good. That was really good. You also had a question, by as far as you looking, like when you look at NFL, or you can look back in skateboarding, right, or basketball, or any sports, it requires a special. You're born with a special talent. You can't really take that away. You might not be the stronger. Like I wasn't the most natural talented skater, but I was talented to be a skateboarder.
We all have our
Right?
gifts.
You have your gifts. And in our business, we recruit anyone, and literally you mentioned here on stage, you say anyone can do this, right? So when you look at recruiting, and this is more like for, I don't know if you guys call what he said, stop thinking about yourself and start believing and start doing the work for other people, right? So if our business, because it's so funny, I just did a compensation class right before. I'm like, you can go from 0 to literally $2 million real quick. This is the path, all the licenses, everything you need, and then you can go based on volume all the way to 50 million, 100 million, which you asked the question of EFC, right? So if it doesn't require talent, right? Because if you come right now and say, Andre, you're 6'3", you're pretty athletic, you used to play skateboard, I'm putting a team, we're gonna play NFL next year, I'll be like, you're crazy. Like, you're gonna be killed right away. But then we tell people they can be on the Super Bowl in a few years, even if it's 20 years from now, and they doubt themselves, right? Can you talk a little bit about the mindset, the psyche they gotta have as leaders to believe in people and show them they can do this? Because one thing is, if you come to me with the mindset that I have, or if I come to you, the mindset that you have, hey, you know what? I know some people are gonna put a new skateboard company. You got what it takes to be like, dude, I was born 1973, right? My body doesn't work. You understand? But we tell people, literally, you can be a champion. You can have those rings on your finger. If it's 2 years from now, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, you're gonna get there for sure. For him, it was a 20-year journey almost, right? From time you start playing, for me to get to my dream skateboard magazine cover, was literally 20 years after I started skateboarding. I started 1987, 7 years old. The cover was November 2007. 1 year, right? The same thing. Can you talk a little bit about that mentality, and not only for themselves, but when they're doing the recruiting and bringing people in, pouring that belief, because otherwise it would be ridiculous. We'd be on stage saying, you can't do this. They could, right?
Yeah. So this business is unique in the sense that people come in a short amount of time, and they have the ability to just change your life. Boom, you can change your life. And as I'm saying it sounds like that's what happened. But I've talked to enough of them to know that there's more to it than that. And one of the things that I believe is imperative in any leader, any follower that's going to be a leader, whatever it is, whether it's sports, whether it's skateboarding, whether it's whatever you do, if you're going to succeed, you're going to do it at the highest level, at the best you can. Your level of commitment has to be beyond what you can conceive, that you've committed to anything. Like it almost has to be to where you think you're crazy that you're so committed to it, that people think you're crazy that you're so committed to it. So when it happens, they say you were crazy and you were right. That's like, you have to have that type of commitment. Like, that you continue to do the business and things might not be going right, it might not be going the way you want to, or maybe it is. And people look at you like, oh my gosh, crazy. He's crazy. That commitment, because they can't see it, they can't feel it, but you have to be committed. Sometimes beyond what the people you love that are around you, they keep telling you, I don't know why you're doing that. I don't know what. You know what? They're telling you the truth. They don't know why. And you have to understand that. They're telling you the truth. They're being honest. I don't know why you're doing that. They don't. Because it's your commitment. You want to know my mom? She didn't know why. She thought I wanted to get hit. I don't know why you let the guys hit you. Like, Mom, I don't want them to. People sometimes, they just don't understand. And your commitment, it has to be so high. Your level of commitment to what you want, where you want to go and where you want to be. It has to be so strong that you sprint. You might think that sprint is 100 meters. Then you figure out you can sprint the whole damn marathon. But you don't know it until you cross the finish line.
I always tell them, this business or anything that you want to do, that it requires, like, the end game is you're going to become extraordinary. I believe that anyone that builds this business, they get to SCVC, $2 million, that's extraordinary in my opinion, right? Like, you're like doing something that 0.01% of the world population, income-wise, and building businesses and all this stuff. But I always tell them, I say, look, the one thing you got to understand is this. It doesn't matter if they think you are crazy or not. What matters is that they believe that you believe that you're crazy. That's it, right? Because sometimes I see people talk to themselves, like talk with somebody. You know the crazy people now, like they're talking like they're speaking to somebody. Like, I know there's nobody there, but I believe they believe there's somebody there. That's enough. Right? So, man, I hope you guys got a lot of nuggets. We're so grateful for your time. We're so grateful for your time, so grateful for your leadership, for the example of success. I love how you find the affiliate thing, right? All personal development. You're like so humble and like you said, you're always developing. And man, we're so grateful to have you. I know you changed my life with Talk, and I'm so humbled to have you here. And look, whatever you need from me, from the team, from our leaders, we're here to serve you, to help your team at any time, anywhere. We have a little something for you. This was hard because I didn't know what to give you. I was like, well, I got everything, right? And then I called Hannah Hornstein, and I was like, what can I give it to him? So there's
I'm easy.
a little.
I love drinking tequila,
Yeah.
so I'm an easy person to buy for.
Yeah.
I've been in San Diego too long. Just one thing. I just want to end. Let me just say this. Somebody in here, you're on the wire, you're on the fence. You might be in, you might be out. Make the best decision for you. Make the best decision for you. And don't allow outside entities, things, or people whom haven't been in this to convince you to make a decision that's not best for you. Now, I want you to know this because I ask every time I get with I get around. I've asked Bill Mitchell. I asked Ed. I've asked Roger. I asked him. I'm like, what's the thing you're most proud of? And I'm gonna share this with you guys. Mostly all of them, either the first or second thing is they say that they stayed.
Yes.
So, understanding that, I want you to know the hardest thing to do is to stay. It's easy to stay when it's good, hard to stay when it's bad. But once you decide that regardless of what happens, and when I sit people down, I literally ask them this after they've been in about a month or two. I said, what will it take? And you need to think about this. What will it take for you to quit? If they give me an answer, eventually they get to it. If you don't have an answer, then you're fighting a good fight. Keep being the champion.
We're gonna break for lunch right now. Marshall, you have like 10 minutes? 10 minutes. There is a step and repeat outside. He's gonna be there if you wanna take a picture with him. Please honor his time. There's a lot of people. And let's honor his time. Sounds good? Yeah. Thank you. See you guys at sharp at 1 p.m.
Okay.